Hello everyone, this is T-Bot again. Welcome to Healthy Affairs International. October 10th of every year is dedicated to celebrate World Mental Health. Mental Health Day was established in 1992 with three basic objectives. Number one, to mobilize global support for mental health. Secondly, to reduce stigma related to mental health. And thirdly, to create awareness about mental health. So this mental health that we're talking about, using a computation model 5W and H. Let us look at what it is. Why is it happening? To who, when, and how? This year's theme is mental health at work. Study shows that 60% of people at one workplaces or the other. Therefore, more than average of the population are affected. A major 2021 new study supported by WHO, World Health Organization, reported that more than 3 billion people worldwide were living with neurological conditions. Neurological conditions are now the leading cause of ill health and disability worldwide. Now listen to this. Over 80% of these neurological deaths and health loss occur in low and middle income countries. World Health Organization emphasized that neurological conditions cause great suffering to the individuals and families they affect and rob communities and economics of human capital. And that is where we're going as regards this year's theme. This year's theme that says mental health at work. So it does not only affect the employees, it also affects the employers as well, the families as well, communities, and even our GDP as a nation. Therefore, it is very important that world leaders, all stakeholders come together to addressing mental health at work, and there are a lot of ways to do that. For example, at the 2022 version of World Health Assembly, member states designed and adopted Intersectoral Global Action Plan 2022 to 2031. This Intersectoral Global Action Plan set out a roadmap for countries to improve prevention, early detection, treatment, and rehabilitation of neurological disorders, as well as effective investment in more research about risks to brain health, improved support for the healthcare workforce. Here we come in contact with workforce again. In most of these reports, workforce here and there are being mentioned. And that tells us that this is a very crucial topic that we need to grab from the hair and place on the table and raise it to the level of discussion, because it affects almost everyone. What are the strategies to addressing this in our workplaces? We need to normalize mental health conversations at workplaces, encourage open dialogue, empathy, and understanding. Create a safe space for employees to share concerns. You are not weak by sharing your concerns about your mental health in your places of work. What is weakness is that you are afraid to share it. Sharing it means that you are courageous, and we should encourage the affected people in every way we could to share it. What are the strategies for employers? We can create mental health days. We can have flexible work arrangements for people that we're noticing that this thing is affecting. Some of them, it is mild, some is moderate, some is severe, some is profound. In most cases, those ones that are mildly or moderately affected are not being taken care of. And we just realize that they are making mistakes that is costing company a lot of huge debts and losses. We need to look into this. It is not until we get to the last stage that we start talking about it, that we start complaining. It's always there before it gets to that stage. Let us have open-mind discussions to addressing the causes, the symptoms, and possible treatments. The next thing we could do as employers is wellness initiatives. We could have a wellness initiative as part of our social responsibility in our companies, to our societies, or to our workforces. We need to prioritize mental health at work. Foster a supportive environment. Break the stigma. Let us create a healthier workplace together. Remember, mental health matters. Mental health at workplaces matters a lot. And what are the strategies for the employees? You need to be aware of occupational hazards around you, occupational poisons around you, and how to minimize or even eliminate occupational accidents. The employers might not be aware of this, but because you are going to be at the receiving end, you need to call the attention of the employers to certain occupational hazards that may likely occur in companies. And secondly, let us look at the self-care of workers. You work late, you close late, you eat late. All these are unhealthy behavior that we talk about in public health. When you keep doing that to yourself, you are not helping yourself. Majority of these effects doesn't show up immediately at times. They are both medium-term and long-term effects. Some it is after
after retirement. Some it is during working years. So we need to be conscious of our environment, the environment that we're working, the people that we're working with. How sane are these to our mental health? Is this making us to be sane, or it's making us to lose our sanity? We need to really sit down, address this, and analyze this as a person, as a family, and take appropriate action.
Okay, let us talk about another category. Mr. TJ actually doesn't close late, so he doesn't eat late. But what about your lunch? The food that you are eating, it is because you are at work. You are telling yourself you have no choice than to eat it. Alright. Is it just delicious or it is nutritious? The way they make it, the way they process it. Are you sure you are not taking too much sugar or too much preservatives in the course of taking those foods? It's not your fault. After all, you cannot be bringing lunch from home. So you got to make do with something. But what you are making do with, is it benefiting your body, or it has a tendency to cause harms to your body? Let us analyze this and make sure that you also choose your lunch wisely. The third category are my sisters. May I plead on behalf of our men that you should allow them to take light dinner when they get home late. Because of the nature of their work, yes, I understand they don't close on time, so they don't get home on time. And you have labored, you have gone through a lot to prepare the meal for them. So they must eat it. I understand. However, remember, their health is very important to your sanity, to your peace, and to the peace of your children. Therefore, let us work around it. If they must eat, you should actually encourage them. If your husband is above 40 years, you should encourage him not to even take dinner when he comes back. But if he must take it, make it light. You got to educate yourself on the light dinner to prepare so that his challenges at work will not be affecting his health, either on long term, medium, or short term basis. The housewives or nursing mothers. You're an housewife, you work back to back, and somebody is telling you are not working, you believe them, so you try to please this, to please that, to do this, to do that. Are you taking your time to relax? Are you taking your time to analyze how you are feeling these days? Your legs, your muscles, your joints, the migraine, the eyes that is turning red, so many others. Take your time to also know that attending to your health is as important as finishing your assignments, and nobody is going to take you serious, because in our society they think that when you're an housewife, you're jobless. But we know, and you know, that you're not jobless. And that is why you should treat yourself like a worker and make sure that you take care of your mental health in your working place, which is your own. Also talking about nursing mothers. Nursing baby or babies, you're also at work. It's a work. Last week, somebody was talking to us about a case, actually brought a case to us, and they were telling us what the woman didn't do that led to a health problem. She gave birth to preterm baby, and there wasn't enough money to take the child back to the hospital. She was doing everything within her capacity to make sure that this child is well taken care of, to the extent that she neglected her health. She was actually bleeding. She knew it, but I don't know, she somehow forgot to take herself to health center to be attended to. Some might say, is she stupid? Is she this? Is she that? She's not stupid. What she went through wasn't a moral problem. It has become a mental health issue and nobody was paying attention. She died. The boy, the baby, is now 7 years old. This and many more happens. It is called postpartum depression. That feelings of tiredness, of pain that you think nobody understands, that you cannot voice out to anybody, that you experience during nursing baby or babies, is called postpartum depression. If you think you are getting to a stage that you can no longer cope, that this work is too much for you, please open up, discuss with someone, and make sure that you take steps that will address your physical and mental health. Another category is, what about you, educators? We work, we labor, we make sure that we mark the script, we teach, we do all sorts of educational activities for schools, for the students. We get home, we do another one. Remember that your mental health matters even in that workplace. You need to be of sound mind before you could be able to raise or coach children to greatness. You need to be of sound mind before you could be able to raise, to train, to teach, or coach children to greatness. Make sure that you assess yourself, that are you getting it? Are you getting well? Or you are getting sick and sick due to the nature of your job. And also to you, my artisan, my dear brothers, carpenter, dear friend, bricklayer, and so many other wonderful people in those kind of industry. I was talking to a tiler
few weeks ago, and I was asking, why do you always have marijuana inside your bag? And he was like, if I don't take it, I'll not be able to do enough work. I sat him down. Why don't you try to stop whenever you are tired, instead of you taking marijuana to be able to do more work? And he was like, oh, I need more money, so I've got to do more in order to be able to balance up everything. I understand. However, make sure that you prioritize your mental health, because taking marijuana have a tendency to affect your health. Maybe not now, but definitely later. So the money that you are making from extra work that you are doing, are you sure it's going to be enough to take care of yourself, to treat yourself when the problem arises? Let us be thoughtful around all those lines. Yes, we really need to sit down and think about it. And that leads us to advocacy to our government to make sure they produce conducive environment for our young men and women, workers from all walks of life, to be able to do a job without going extra lengths to the extent that they will be harmed. That they should be able to be calculating in the job that they are doing and ensure they don't do it to the extent that it affects their health physically, mentally, and socially. Let us create a conducive environment. Let us make an effective policy, and let us implement good ones that we have around them. Let's consider giving our youth scholarship, grants to our businessmen and women, and conducive working environment to those in corporate organizations, because not attending to those will definitely lead us to serious problem of human capital, because not addressing that will definitely lead us to a greater problem as a city, as a nation, as a people, and as a family. Social workers, as you are rescuing and saving others, are you sure you are saving your mental health? Are you sure you are considering the effects of all these things on your health and take appropriate steps to make sure that you are not affected? To firefighters, blessed are you. What are you doing to make sure that you are protecting yourself, you are protecting your sanity, considering all those things that you see every day? So may I thank you for your attention. The lists are many. We cannot even finish that in a video. Throughout this month of October, we'll be addressing mental health issues in different dimensions and forms. For example, what are the top 10 neurological disorders that is the leading cause of disability and death? We need to discuss it. We need to know it. Also, what are the levels of mental health challenges and what are the types? How do you identify it and how do you seek for help or help somebody to seek for help? Thank you so much for your attention. See you on the next video. Like, comment, and subscribe. God bless you.